We had just finished cleaning up after dinner when Jessica hit me with the words that, quite frankly, I was not prepared to hear. "Babe, could you grab us a couple of drinks and meet me in the living room? We need to talk about something." "Uh-oh," I muttered under my breath as I grabbed the wine glasses. I'd heard that phrase before, and it always spells trouble. You don't say "we need to talk" unless you're about to drop a bomb, but hey, I'm a good boyfriend. So I dutifully followed her into the living room, wine in hand. Now, Jess and I had been together for nearly 3 years. 3 years, people! And just in a week, exactly 7 days from today, I was going to marry the most amazing woman I'd ever met. We lived together, we laughed together, and let's not forget the incredibly good sex. We had no complaints there. Things were great, or so I thought. We sat down on the couch, each of us sipping our drinks, and Jessica stared at the floor like she was preparing to recite some kind of epic poem. I wasn't sure what was coming next, but I could tell this wasn't going to be your standard "we need to talk" conversation. It was the build-up that got me nervous. "Jessica," I said, trying to lighten the mood, "are you leaving me? Is this the part where you drop the 'I'm in love with someone else's' bomb?" She shot me a look as if I'd just insulted her entire family. "What? No! Are you crazy? I love you. You're the one. I'm not leaving you, for God's sake." I wasn't convinced. "Okay, so what's going on? Are you secretly a part of some underground circus act? Do I need to get you a circus tent for the wedding?" She let out a small laugh, but quickly turned serious again. "No, Mike, it's not that. I just need to talk to you about something. It's about my family." My heart skipped a beat. Whenever Jessica mentioned her family, my mind immediately went to her dad's awkward hugs, her brother's attempts at manly jokes, and her aunt, who seemed to always mistake me for a character in some crime drama. She continued, "You know how important family is to me, right? How much they adore you." "Yeah," I replied. "I'm like the honorary third son in your family. They all seem to love me, except for Aunt Susan, but she's always had a thing against men who don't wear plaid shirts." Jessica smiled weakly. "Well, there's one last thing we need to do before the wedding." I immediately felt the weight of impending doom. "Uh-oh, is this where you tell me you're related to the mafia and I need to pass some kind of loyalty test?" "No, no mafia stuff," she said quickly, probably realizing that I wasn't joking. "But there is a family tradition, and it's something that's been happening for generations." "A family tradition?" I could feel my palms start to sweat. "Oh, I'm sure it's not that bad. Is it a weird dance? A family talent show? Please tell me it's not a weird talent show. Last time we did karaoke at the family Christmas party, I nearly passed out from secondhand embarrassment." Jessica shook her head, clearly trying not to laugh. "No, nothing like that. It's just, well, you're going to have to spend the night with my dad before the wedding." I blinked, waiting for her to burst out laughing, but she didn't. This was no joke. "Wait, what?" I asked, my voice cracking like a teenager who'd just been told he's going to have to meet his girlfriend's parents for the first time. "Yeah, my dad. The night before the wedding. You'll spend time with him. Alone. Just you and him." I stared at her for a solid 5 seconds, unsure if I'd heard her correctly. "Alone with your dad?" I repeated. "What does that even mean? Are we supposed to bond over some manly activity like hunting or building a treehouse or, I don't know, bench pressing each other?" Jessica shook her head again, now visibly uncomfortable. "It's just what we do in my family, Mike. We believe that it's a way for the future husband to become a real part of the family. You'll get to know my dad better, and he'll get to know you better." I was still trying to process this when I asked, "So, is this like a father-son bonding night? Should I bring a gift? Maybe a bottle of whiskey to smooth things over?" "Well, there's no alcohol involved," she said. "It's a simple thing. You and Dad will talk, get to know each other." "You want me to spend hours talking to your dad?" I asked, clearly bewildered. "About what? What kind of topics are we covering? The weather? His obsession with fixing things that aren't broken? The best kind of wood to carve your own canoe?" "Yes," Jessica said, dead serious. "Exactly that. And a few other things. It's important to my family, Mike. It's been going on for generations. My grandfather did it with his future father-in-law, and my father did it with my mom's dad. It's a way of truly accepting each other." I tried to picture the scene. Me, sitting on a leather chair in front of her dad, discussing, what? Family recipes? The nuances of lawn care? The sacred art of tie knots? You mean your dad did this with your grandfather? I asked, still reeling. And now I'm supposed to do the same thing with him? She nodded. Exactly. I could feel my stomach start to churn. Jessica, I love you, but this is a little much. I don't know if I can handle spending an entire night with your dad talking about whatever it is you talk about. Her face softened. Mike, I know this is weird, but it's really important to me. If you want to marry me, this is something you'll need to do. You can say no, but that means no wedding. And just like that, the bomb dropped. If I didn't do this, we wouldn't get married. I stood up, pacing around the room like a madman. So, let me get this straight. I have to spend an entire night with your dad, talk about who knows what, and if I don't, no wedding. Is there a rule book for this family tradition, or are we just winging it? I know it sounds crazy, she said, but I'm just asking you to trust me. Think about it, Mike. You'll get through it, I promise. I went quiet, sitting back down. My mind was racing, but all I could think about was how much this whole thing felt like a weird family ritual. What was next? Would I be expected to prove myself by doing a trust fall with her dad? Or maybe we'd have to go rock climbing to really bond? I sighed deeply. Okay, I'll do it. I'll spend the night with your dad. But if he starts talking about taxidermy or how to fix a leaky faucet with chewing gum, I'm out, I swear. I'll bolt. Jessica smiled, clearly relieved. I knew you'd do the right thing, Mike. And don't worry, it'll be fine. The night before the wedding, I found myself sitting across from her dad, trying not to panic. What was I supposed to say? The awkward silence was palpable. Suddenly, he cleared his throat. So, he began, Mike, do you know how to change a tire? And that was how I spent the next 6 hours, discussing car maintenance, how to properly fold a fitted sheet, and the secret to a good grilled cheese. Honestly, it wasn't so bad, and by the end of it, I felt like part of the family. Mostly because I knew how to change a tire.